Okay. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got the echo. All right, we good?
Yeah, I gotta turn it down.
It's 1,000 remotes. Well, y'all just missed all the good stuff. Like I just broke all kinds of news, man. You know, just joking. I just gotta get the echo out.
Yeah, I don't think that's good, but all right, check.
I'll let you mess with that. But anyways, bottom line is this. This is Big Games, special edition of Big Games BS. I'm at Big Game James _36. Now that we got the sound working, so hopefully people who listen to it on the SoundCloud don't quit in the first 3 minutes of recording. But we need to know what in the hell is going on with our rivals. They have clearly lost their fucking minds. And it's embarrassing at this point. And I want to know where we got and where we came, because normally the off seasons are fun of jest and jabs and people talking about each other, but it's gotten more personal now that the Rabbits got the gun again. So Florida State has been so good for most of our lives. Bobby Bowden, Jimbo Fisher, that's been over 40 years. I've only been on this earth for 39 years. And I've only known Florida State to not be good for 3 of those. And even then, you're talking about 3-6, a 5-7 season. Then I'm trying to remember what the other bet. No, because we went to Jimbo's last year. We went to a bowl game. We didn't go to a bowl game Tag's first year, which was 5-7. We went to a bowl game Tag's. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. 2 5-7 years and the 3-6 years. But right now we've won 10 games. And now everybody's acting real peculiar, very unfamiliar, like they don't remember a time when Florida State was ever good. Like we weren't the last person in the state to win a national championship. And I'm cool with delusion. I'm cool with fans, because fanatical stuff. Fan is short for a fanatic. But conspiracy theories, things being created, guys, and it's one thing for the fan. It's another thing for those who are in the journalist profession. Gabe Urethra, Andy Ivins, a bunch of other guys would never got upset when people told the truth about John Ruiz, but are literally manufacturing lies in their fan base. And it was cool when my guy, the esophageal one, Terminator was doing this thing. Nobody believed him anyway. Just like nobody, Mr. Two Bitches himself, just like nobody believes he's got 2 bitches on him all the time. Now, I believe he goes to a strip club a lot, but I don't believe he's got women, like he getting women because of his looks. But that's one thing. But like these guys have literally lied about everything. And when the lies stopped adding up, they just created these narratives are well thought out. And then the goalposts have changed. So we want to talk about the waves and just how things have gone. But before I get into that, make sure, if you haven't, go to my pin tweet at Big Game James _36. And remember, we're having a tailgate for the FSU LSU game. It's going to be a big time tailgate. Right now, we have over 450 people that are coming to it. I need 600. I need 500. Actually, no, I need 650. But I would like 550 more people to join us in the celebration. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be a lot of dope stuff. Air-conditioned tailgate. This ain't no chicken tender and BLT tailgate. Like, it's no offense to those. This is a real big boy. This is what the fuck I do. I'm often imitated, but I'm never duplicated. Tailgates is what I do. And every year, it gets better. We got air conditioning. We've got 4 vertical misters that for some of the outdoor parts. We got porta potties. We got real food, like adult food, and real beverages, all for $60 until the day up until Wednesday before the game. Then we're gonna jack that price up. But check that out. I got 5 parking spots left at the tailgate, and then I just bought another lot. And the break-even point, we got 52 parks. The break-even point for that would be sell those for $150. But yes, come on, man.
Hi, Dad.
What's up, man? How you doing? You all right? Can you say this? Mason Smith. Say Mason Smith.
Mason
Gotta say it loud. Gotta say it like a big boy.
Mason Smith.
Mason Smith is hurt. No, excuse me. It's suspended for the first game. Say suspended.
Say suspended.
Mason Smith.
Mason Smith
is
suspended.
Okay, cool. Appreciate you. You heard the breaking news right there from Killer. Killer basically just said Mason Smith is suspended. That is a big. It's not really. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about it. I was just on Mark Rogers TV and I was talking about this. Mason Smith did absolutely nothing to us when he was playing, and he got injured celebrating somebody else's tackle. Mason Smith was not going to prevent this ass whipping from happening. So, let's just be fucking clear. And to quote the Toxic 20s women, if you're going to be anything, be for real. I like that. That's one of them cool. It's kind of sassy, but at the same time, really, really good. But anyways, couple housekeeping notes. Please jam the like button. Want to get this promoted pretty heavily. Also, if you're not a member, please consider being a member. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Once we get to 3,000, we get to 3,000 subs by Sunday, we will give away 2 tickets to the game. I don't know if that's going to happen. We're still a little ways away. Guys could actually figure out that the tickets are expensive, and this might be the only way for them to be able to get into a game, and they're going to do whatever they do. Did I email you yet, Mo?
I don't think so.
Oh, let me I forgot, man. They got a lot of stuff here. I was about to just start running down the list, and you ain't got nothing. Let me send this to Miles. I was actually bragging to somebody about how much more organized I am than I was when I first started doing this, and still not.
That's a lot. It's a lot to do.
But as we get into this, like I said, the main culprit, it's one thing when it's the fan base. I have no problem with fans saying illogical things. That's what I say we, because I'm technically not media. That's what we are supposed to do. But when the guys who are journalists, who are supposed to be reputable sources, are going out and they're espousing or spewing out bullshit, I have a really, really hard time dealing with that because, people believe what you say. When you work for 247, when you work for Now On 3, because we all know how On 3 started, when you work for Rivals, when you work for a lot of these people automatically give you the benefit of the doubt that you are in the know. And then some offbeat stuff, people have been right about enough things to where they present themselves as media members. It's why my dear friend Sam, who I love Sam to death, but it's why I get on him a lot, because he loves to fall back onto the I'm just a guy with a podcast spiel or shtick. But at the same time, he loves the attention and he actually does know some things. And he's actually just trying to garner the results, the clicks, the likes. Now, that one thing I will say is that there has been a tremendous amount of views. So, if for nothing else, I hope these motherfuckers getting paid. But it all starts from, and I'm gonna give a history. So when Manny Diaz, the OG lion ass Cuban, all right, the OG lion ass Cuban came in and the transfer portal was brand new. Miami went and got a defensive end from UCLA, who I believe ended up getting drafted. But my man was like one tap to the head away from like being brain dead. Like he had a lot of concussions. UCLA medically DQ'd him. They brought in a lot of guys, and you know what they called them? Actually, they called them Portal Boys. Portal Combat, if you will. It was one of the things that they used.
That's funny.
Like when Miami was doing it, it was innovative, it was smart, it was cool. They were giving guys another chance. Manny Diaz brought in a wide receiver. I believe it was Rambo from Oklahoma, who was that was last year. Excuse me. Their best wide receiver was a transfer guy. He did absolutely nothing. It was cool. It was all good. They were doing their thing. We needed this to build it up because it's about the youth. Quarterback who just played in the national championship. He did play in the national championship, but he just played in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts. You know who hosted Jalen Hurts and who all their beat writers said that they were going to get was Jalen Hurts. That's what the was in. That's when the portal started. It was cool. We're going to get Jalen Hurts. We're going to win. They had Jalen Hurts in the strip club. The club. I think it was Live. Oh. They had the little signs. You know how the girls do.
Yeah.
They was living the life of the South Beach. Who wouldn't want to be a part of the South Beach life? Then they didn't get him. That hoe. What's the hoe name? Y'all know who watched me. Y'all know who I call the hoe. The hoe that's at Arkansas's offensive coordinator. What's that hoe name? Shit. His dad had the rape scandal at Baylor. I was just talking about the hoe. Yeah, at Baylor, they had to fire it. Them hoes was good then. But the hoe was like, he was, anyways, the hoe at Arkansas, when he left, we were supposed to get De'Aaron King. De'Aaron King, former quarterback from Houston, was a teammate of Kyle Trask. Kendall Browse, thank you. Appreciate you, Polo Key. I need this thing. Your name needs to be green. Yeah. Your name needs to be green, Playboy. We gotta get the green in your life, but that's okay. But the hoe, Kendall Browse. No, he's not a member. That's what I was saying. Pools. Yeah. But anyways, everybody who knows me knows that I call Kendall Browse a hoe because he is a hoe. Again, our media, I'm gonna tell you why I call Kendall Browse a hoe, so y'all can't just say I'm a hating ass motherfucker. He's a hoe because Kendall Browse was the mole that was saying shit that just doesn't make sense. Like he was the one who was saying Tag was running the offense and the defense. And I don't know if anybody's ever coached. It's hard to run one side of the ball. It's impossible to run two sides of the ball in Pop Warner. It's even more difficult in high school and in college. The amount of video study and time that you have to put in is crazy. What he didn't like was games like Boise State. We're beating the fuck out of Boise State. Time of possession, we have a great running back and Cam Akers run the ball. And he cried because he said Tag was trying to call the plays. No, your boss said, hey, we're up. I think we should just run the fucking ball. And you know what our media did? Our media took shit like that for what it was worth and ran with it. Now, I don't care. I'm not saying we should have kept Tag. I'm not getting to that bullshit because that's years ago. What I am saying is our media did some of this same fuck shit that the Miami media is doing, but this is different. We did it to ourselves. It's different when you do it to yourselves, not when you're trying to like put bullshit on other people. But that being said, Kendall Browse is a hoe, and that's why I call Kendall Browse a hoe. But if the hoe was at Florida State, De'Aaron King would have came to Florida State. Instead, De'Aaron King went to the University of Miami, and he they beat us. Remember when they had De'Aaron King, and they were like, "We feel like we're gonna beat Bama, like we're just as good as Bama." Y'all remember that? That wasn't that long ago. That was them motherfuckers when the portal was working for them. Fast forward, we don't need to get. But now they got a new lion ass Cuban. Two Portal guys, 4th and 14. Parchment and Jordan Travis are basically what led to Manny Diaz being fired. Miami fans took our 4th and 14 concept, which we put shirts on because the NIL was new. Then they go and they make their own 4th and 14 t-shirts because they're saying that 4th and 14 led to Manny Diaz being fired and got them who they really wanted, lion ass Cuban Mario Cristobal.
Wow.
See how they spin shit?
That is nice. Somebody's doing a good job down there.
They spin it and then Mario, because at that point, again, their lion ass media, they were getting Lane Kiffin, they were getting everybody. They was getting everybody, bro. Like everybody was coming to Miami. Mr. Two Bitches, Mr. Esophageal was again, I'm telling you, when we whoop y'all ass in the transfer portal and we whoop y'all ass in Miami, if you don't have my money, I want that throat attachment. I want my money. I'm like 50 Cent when it comes to this shit. Like, or you gotta sing you got or you gotta sing the Negro National Anthem without it on live on my stream. If you do that, then you don't have to pay me the money. But I need it without the thing.
No.
But anyways, Miami.
I just got pictured that.
Miami said that they lost. They lost obviously, and the De'Aaron King is not doing anything with his life. We brought in a kid with one leg. We all know that little Disney story, whatever his name is, doesn't matter. And so that's kind of bringing it. So, but when the lion ass Cuban came here, they got another. It's one thing. Double negative makes a positive. So for a little bit, 2 lion ass Cubans combined, and they had a phenomenal 2023 recruiting class. They also had a good first year. They flipped a guy, Najee Kelly, from us, a really good defensive end from Dillard High School. They did a lot of things to protect the guys. They were rolling. They weren't rolling on the field, but they were rolling in recruiting. So they had something to hold on to. They were fine because there's the hope that the Hurricanes have. One thing Miami can do is always have hope because they can build on the past. Like, I saw somebody post this, and this is a dark joke. Don't judge me. Family's military. Love the military. Love America. But they said, you haven't won since 9/11. Y'all never forgetting too? And I thought that was hilarious. And that's basically where the Miami program is. No, Dillard and Fort Lauderdale. I think it's Fort Lauderdale. Like north of Miami. But so that's getting us to this point. Miami couldn't win when the portal was working, they were winning. So they didn't care. Then they weren't winning, but they were getting recruits, so they didn't care. Even fast forward to June. Miami was posting things about this is going to be the greatest D-line class in history. They were happy. They were hopeful. Life was looking good for the Miami Hurricanes. Because if they can't win on the field, at least their Lord and Savior, lion-ass Cuban, Mario Cristobal, and John Ruiz will be able to make it happen in recruiting. And they know eventually things will turn around. Now, that's what got us here. But then what happens is they found out shit ain't good. It's really bad. It's really bad. And now, all of the things that Miami has done and their beat has praised in the past, is now no longer good. So the stages they're going through: anger, depression, bargaining, acceptance, denial, sadness, guilt, shock. It's going to all come to them. But let's just go through now that we're where we're at. Now the questions aren't excuse me, it's not the transfer portal is bad now. It's not just bad. Is it sustainable? I don't think you can do this. You shouldn't be doing this. You should be recruiting high school kids. Now, why are they doing this? It's because Florida State's picked in a lot of things to finish third nationally, to be in the college football playoff. Florida State is winning on the field. People have them picked anywhere from finishing 5th to 11th in the ACC. So there's a good shot that they won't even make another bowl again. They'll have a losing record. I think they'll go 7-5, personally. 5 of the top 10 players in the ACC all reside in Tallahassee, Florida right now. And one of the hottest prospects in this upcoming draft is a guy by the name of Jared Verse. And everybody is saying great things. You just had College Football Game Day come out there and check out some of FSU's practices. They're saying that this team is great. The wide receivers are terrifying. Matt Miller says, I understand the danger in saying this, but FSU looks loaded this year. Improved and dynamic quarterback, tier 1 running back, explosive wide receivers with great depth. Among the most experienced offensive linemen and star power at defensive end. When you start seeing these things and it's no longer, I can't troll you. You know what they started saying? Because we've already known that Florida State was going to have a bunch of people coming back, 85%. So they can't troll it because we beat their ass on the field. It's 45-3. It's very hard to talk about that. Like, we made you get rid of both your coordinators. One of which I think Kevin Still is a good guy. I just don't know why he made Daryl Jackson cover Lawrence Toafili on a wheel route from the zero technique. When I see Kevin next time, that will be my question. Like, Kev, what was going on? So it was never no problems with that because they were beating us in recruiting in June. Or there was hope in June. Mike was I think we were in the 20s at that point. But all of us said, hey, just give it a second. July is going to be big for us. Fans were shook, but those of us in the know, we know. And then what I like about Coach Norvell started to let his nut show a little bit. Coach Norvell, I'm kind of paraphrasing it, but he kind of basically said this. July is when fireworks are shot. So prepare for July. I'm talking about he put the tweet out on July 1st. And what Florida State did was make a run from July 1st to a few weeks ago where we got to the beginning of August where we got KJ Bolden. We picked up 2 extra 5 stars, numerous 4 stars, and maybe some guys that we don't really know about, but we're hoping that they're going to be good. But the point is, Florida State rose to have the 5th ranked recruiting class. And right now, all signs point to where a guy that Miami said they were going to get, Zaquan Patterson, is looking like he's going to commit to Florida State, and that's another 5-star safety. So the other lie that you used to post that Mike Norvell doesn't know how to bring in high school kids. Now, what is Mike Norvell doing? He's bringing in high school kids. So what can we do? What can we do? I know, because it doesn't make sense. We talked about this on Monday's show. It was one of the craziest things I ever heard on Sunday. I know a lot of the boosters. I know a lot of big money boosters. Never knew we had a chicken farmer in Delaware. They go into the message boards, and then Gabe Urethra posters as well, and everybody else kind of goes into it. There's a chick. This is the lie. I just want people to realize how big of a conspiracy theory. This has like structure to it. an unnamed chicken farmer in Delaware who made his money when all the other chicken farms in the area lost all their chickens due to the avian flu is paying players bi-weekly just to commit. Now, I want you guys to understand the irony in this. That's what people were saying John Ruiz was doing last year. They were buying the class. They were getting and needing it for momentum. They had two guys come on and say that Florida State just needs some momentum. Like, we're the number 5 ranked class. No, bitch. You need some momentum. You need some milk. Like, that's what y'all need. So now that you can't whoop our ass on the field, because we've lost 2 in a row. And the last one, we literally, the most people your stadium has seen in years. I mean, they filled that bitch. You can hear a pin drop. It was completely empty by the start of the second quarter. I mean, I'm talking about a voracious ass whipping is what they got. So now you can't whoop our ass on the field. You can't whip our ass in recruiting. Now you're a combination between denial and trying to understand what's going on. So you must grasp at straws. Kane Sport puts out. Now it's the transfer portal's the evil. And this is what we must tell the people. We must share this with the people. You've got to tell them. Miami is stressing its player development programs in head-to-head recruiting battles with FSU. Miami has 8 projected starters that are products of the transfer portal. FSU has 16. The Hurricanes are all in on their current record of developing their traditional recruiting signees and are stressing that to current recruits. Wouldn't I thought the goal was to win games. I don't give a fuck if we had 23 starters. I don't even know if that's impossible, but I'm just saying that were transfers. The goal is to win games. But how's that working out for you, Kane Sports? Is it working out with you on the head-to-head recruiting battles? Because one thing for sure, 2 things for certain. Mike Norvell is putting him in a fucking blender with them nasty ass patent leather shoes that he wears with no socks. I know his feet smell horrendous. Y'all were talking about that's when you know he's serious. He got patent leather shoes on. Put the patent leather shoes on and he goes to the recruit's house and he's gonna get him. Nah, that bitch is getting stuffed in a locker by Mike Norvell and the fighting chicken in the chicken booster. What's wild is there's a kid from Bluntstown. And I joked about this and I said he didn't look very happy. Bluntstown is right outside of Tallahassee, 4-star DB, Artavius Jacobs. There's rumors that he may flip. And I'm not mad at him. If I go to Miami and you put me on a boat with no bitches, I'm gonna be upset. Mr. 2 bitches, where were you at? You could have provided him a young lady. I'm going to tell you this. When my sons, the mom always gets upset with this, but that's okay. We're men. One thing I'm doing is, I'm raising heterosexual males. At least they have to, they can do whatever they want to do. I just need one son named James Anthony Coleman IV. After that, do whatever you want to do. But if my son goes on a recruiting visit, and you put him on a boat with 20 other men, I have an issue with that. That is grooming. You're not going to do this to us. This is not what we signed up for. If you don't put us on a boat with some people, with some pretty people, then I've got problems. So you're probably going to get stuffed in the locker room when you flip that. LaWayne McCoy was supposed to be flipping back to Miami. Right now, LaWayne's like, nah, I can see that ass. I can smell that ass whipping coming. Like you can smell rain in the South. You can smell that ass whipping coming to the Hurricanes again. But that's how this all started, was the guys going to Twitter crying. And then what was really weird was we got a little beef going. Reporter beef. And I'm going to go backwards on some of this. Andrew Farrelly And Miles, if you can go find the Andrew Farrelly. It should be on the reporter beef one. Now we gotta go put Snow Cone up there. But it's under the reporter beef. Yeah, the first one. And click on Andrew's profile pic. Like that's fine. You put that up. Let's see, let the people see this. I don't know if y'all can see this very well. Can you go look up Bud Elliott? Just Google Bud Elliott. You know, everybody, they've been calling me, Florida fans been calling me great value, Ice Cube. Doesn't hurt as much because I like Ice Cube. But I'm going to call this man great value Bud Elliott. I don't agree with Bud Elliott a lot, but Bud Elliott's one of the good guys. That, especially that picture of Bud Elliott with the little, like the to the right. Yeah, that one right there. Bud Elliott kind of reminds me of Doctor Strange a little bit. Not that he's strange, I'm just saying, like, literally the character Doctor Strange. But Andrew Farrelly is great value Bud Elliott. He tries to have the same haircut. He's got the same beard thing going on. Actually, it's kind of scary a little bit. The ears are kind of similar. But at least one thing Bud is uber intelligent. Bud is extremely smart. Even if you don't agree with Bud's point, he has a well thought out argument. I can never take that away from Bud. Andrew Farrelly put out a lot of word salad and numbers that absolutely made no sense. And really, to be honest with you, the way he put it, if I were a fan of Miami, I would be upset. But then when you really look at his bio, it all makes sense. Put that up there right there again. He is a reporter for a lion-ass Cuban for Life Wallet Sports.
I didn't. That's it. Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
If you don't know what Life Wallet is, that's the company that's trading for 9 cents right now. That John Ruiz is getting sued, and this is where it all started. It all went downhill with John Ruiz. People started putting up there. Now, my guy Snow Cone, I've had issues with him, but I can fuck with Snow Cone. You can't fuck with Snow Cone. That's our job. And he came and took a shot at Brendan. Or he took a shot at 247. Or he took a shot after my guy Trey Rowland said something. Trey said, pushing a narrative about a rival coach's lack of development while also trying to poach a shit pile of that coach's homegrown defensive lineman in the offseason is some weak shit. Like Trey. FSU's 247 beat writers tossing around tampering allegations over an article that statistically showed how many more transfers FSU will start is certainly something. So, one thing my guy Brendan said, you can go pull up that the Snow Cone thing now, with all the words and shit. Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's a lot of words. This is what happens when nerds start beef. This is what happens when reporters beef. This is why I used to always laugh. When they troll me, you troll the guy who gets paid by guns, alcohol, and tobacco. And that hit people, that actually hit people. And this is how y'all beef with words, which is good. Because you guys aren't about that life. And I'm appreciative of that. But this was good, though. FSU uses a transfer portal that is true, as well as anyone in the country, but not as much as anyone in the country. Over the last 2 cycles, FSU has added 26 transfers. That's the 27th most nationally, 4th in the state, with USF 33, UCF 32, Miami 27, taking more. So my man put an article out that Florida State has 16 starters that are transfers, and Miami only has 8, but neglected to tell us that 27, they brought in 27 transfers. What that shows me is that your coaches just don't know how to pick. That's the reason why. It ain't because your high school kids are better. It's because your coach sucks at picking. Just like he sucks at picking high school players, just like he sucks at calling plays. He's never been a good play caller. And you guys knew that. You knew when he was at FIU. Y'all love to say that Taggart was his record, and you were right. Well, what the fuck is he supposed to be? He stunk at FIU. He was in Miami. You knew that. You only like him because he had some rings from a long time ago, and a lot of y'all weren't even alive. I don't think the transfer portal should be weaponized by coaches as a negative recruiting tactic. I've heard it at a coaching convention. I've heard it at interviews. The name of the game is acquiring talent and developing it. There are extreme examples, sure, but setting a restriction on yourself doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Anyways, the programs that use the transfer portal the most in the past 2 cycles, let's call the NIL era, and obviously some of the programs underwent coaching changes. So the ethos might be different for current coaches of the sample size. 56 players, Colorado, brand new coach. 44, Arizona State, brand new coach. 43, SMU, brand new coach from Miami. Or this is year 2 for him. 41, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin's relatively new coach. I think Indiana has a new coach. Louisville has a new coach. 37, USC has a new coach. And USC is a team that historically recruits very well. Oregon has a new coach. Oregon is a team that historically recruits very well. 35 transfers. USF, new coach, 33. 32, Houston, new coach. 32, UCF, new coach. 32, Georgia Tech, new coach. 30, Oklahoma, school that traditionally recruits very well, brand new coach. 29, Auburn and LSU, both have relatively new coach. LSU, everybody's talking about how much great they are and they should make a run. Them motherfuckers was in the SEC championship. Brand new coaches. Like, the point is to win fucking games. And you can't win games, nor can you recruit players. So what you're doing is you're creating a false narrative to try to push clicks as opposed to being a man and critiquing what you see on the field. That's what bothers me. I critique it how I see it. You can't say I was a Norvell lover because most of y'all said I hated Mike Norvell, even though I never have. I've always liked Mike. I hate losing. And you know what I stopped doing when Mike started winning? I stopped saying Mike was losing. It was very fucking simple. When I actually saw what the plan was in the transfer portal, I said, makes sense. And then now that I see him recruiting really well with high school players and the transfer portal, one should change the narrative based upon the information that's presented to you. You should not create a narrative. That is not good journalism. That's called lying. That's called trying to get clicks, because this is how these people get paid. Clicks and subscriptions. Most of them can't fight. Most of them can't work a regular job. And most of them don't know ball. So what they're going to do is sensationalize things. Let me go back to that Andrew thing. Because it shows you how many, like he got, so on the retort, 58,000 views. And he's got a blue check mark, I believe. No, he doesn't. On his response to Trey, 148,000 views. And what I want to try to do is I got to find where he was basically crying. And he says we won't get into the Daryl Jackson situation. I said, imagine having to go home and tell your loved ones that you are now Twitter sports reporter for a Medicare claims Ponzi scheme that is trading at 9 cents a share. That's what one guy tweeted out to, and that was actually a really cold ass bar. Damn, I thought I had that tweet somewhere. It's got to be here somewhere. Bump it. Here's Gabby Aretha. This is what they're doing now too. Again, recreating narratives. So when you're taking the stats, and now Miami's trying to say they got better players. We're better at player development. We're better at player development when they got beat 45-3. But you're better at player development. While most people are lauding FSU's D-line is better than Miami's D-line, the fact is, I don't think so. I think it's Clemson, Miami. I think it's FSU. My reason. Patrick Payton versus Nigel Lee Kelly. Last year, Payton put up 6 tackles for loss and 5 sacks and 364 snaps. Kelly put up 4.5 tackles for loss and 4 sacks and 182 snaps. I believe Kelly was more productive per snap, and he has taken a huge step forward, enough to unseat a very experienced starter who was the number 7 Pro Football Focus graded DN in the ACC. Kelly in a landslide. All right. Patrick Payton, for those who don't know, was the ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year. They're the same class, just for those who are counting. Leonard Taylor versus Brandon Fisk. The competition, not even close. Fisk put up 12 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, and 737 snaps while playing poor competition. In fact, the only 2 Power 5 teams he played was Pitt and Michigan State. Meanwhile, LT put up 10 and a half tackles for loss, 3 sacks, and 326 snaps, LT, and a landslide. So you have Leonard Taylor. You have better D tackle. Fabian Lovett versus Branson Dean. Lovett put up 9 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 210 snaps. Dean, at 492 snaps, put up 28 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks. This is more or less even production. So you got 2 better and a push. Now here's what's wild. Jared Verse versus Akeem Mesidor. Verse put up 7 sacks and 396 snaps. Mesidor put up 10 and a half tackles for loss and 8 sacks and 361 snaps. Mesidor has much better production. So you have 3 better defensive linemen than us. How the fuck did you lose? Like, it's really simple. Like, just what you're doing and thinking you're making a case for having better players is literally showing that you had incompetent coaches. Because if your players are that much better, they should not have been dominated 45-3. You talk about inferior competition. Have you ever looked at Miami's schedule? You played Bethune fucking Cookman. I think it was Bethune Cookman. They played a sorry ass team. You played Middleton. You lost to Middle Tennessee State. You don't have the right to say Brandon Fisk didn't play good competition. They put up 45 on your defense. They put up President Trump on your defense. It's a lot of words to say we stink. It's crazy when you really step back and you really think about the way that people think. And again, I posted on my show. I'm gonna post it here again. Miles, can you click on the YouTube real quick? It's just really with all this. And when you get it ready, we're gonna play it. Anytime I hear men that, one, go to alphamalejax.com. That's one thing. 2, help check your testosterone and your estrogen levels. But anytime I hear men crying and making up shit, I just always I don't know what to do. Because this is basically what, and then this Godfather is talking to Johnny Fontaine. And Johnny Fontaine is upset that life is not going the way he wants to. So he's going and he's crying to him. Basically, Miami fans, Miami beat writers, Miami coaches are coming to us real men like me. Because you were a proud program. You're a proud program. Like, you do have something. Like, this is not the way. I'm disappointed in you. It's one of the worst things I could ever say to somebody. Like, I'm not mad at you. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in you. But Post, this is basically what we have to say, and we have to discipline our children.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You can act like a man. What's the matter with you? Is this how you turn down a Hollywood Pinocchio that cries like a woman? What can I do? What can I do? What I said, nonsense.
This is the only way you could actually treat these guys.
What can I do?
You gotta tell them.
What can I do?
Act like a man.
What I said, nonsense.
This is the only way you could actually treat these guys.
You
gotta tell them.
What can I do?
We're beating their ass so bad that they're saying this is the only way you could actually treat these guys. You gotta tell them. Look forward to the future. You ever whoop somebody's ass that they just forfeit the next 2 years? They got fans saying. The one fan said, "I kid you not, Florida State has one of the oldest teams in FBS. They graduate everybody next year. We'll get our turn next year."
Damn.
One person said, "Man, wait till 2025 when we get all our recruits developed." What do you think happens when you don't understand this strategy, this bully strategy? I want you to look. I want to really, oh, wow, I'm looking cubish right here. I want you to understand this. This is a bully mindset. We don't just whoop your ass. What happens when those same freshmen get beat 45-3 this year? They'll be sophomores getting whooped 45-3. What happens when those same sophomores become juniors and we beat them 45-3 again? I hope and I pray that Mike Norvell runs up the score on you guys in Doak Campbell Stadium. And again, he's either going to give me my money or he's going to give me. That's how we roll. We're bullies around here. We don't talk the bully stuff. We live it. We breathe it. That's why I love the tombstone thing. That's why I love the I'm in Huckleberry. But my boy Big No, who everybody absolutely either loves or loves to hate him, he posted something, and this is where Miami is doing. They're focusing on the high school guys. They're recruiting. They got a quarterback of the future who many of you guys have now started to find again. And we found out that his quarterback, his interception to touchdown ratio was 1.15 to 1. And that's their QB1. QB1 is the catalyst of your class.
I don't understand what he means.
I want to drop 50 on him. I want to score more points.
Oh, I thought he meant betting. I was like, how?
I want to score more. I would love to reset the scoreboard. It would be amazing. Mike is a good dude though. But if you go look up, I don't know if you put it up, but focused on the future. And we'll have Big No. There's a Big No. Go down. Yeah. Or big bragging about the future, looking into the future. So we're gonna sit down. I love film review. Something I need to do more of. Because I've seen what some of the other film review has been out there in the fan base, and it's not as good as mine. I don't think so, at least. So we're gonna let's break down some high school film here. And this is Miami's quarterback commit. So it's in shotgun scenario. Went to Miles, push play. So right here. Hold on, push pause real quick. We got three wide. Could run it back to the side. They're about to bring a little bit of pressure. They're gonna but got 5 to block, cut 5. So this should be good. It should be easy. Okay, they only blitz 4, drop 1 back. He climbs the pocket, great, and throws it right to the other guy. Now, let's go back, because remember I was telling you guys how I hate Arch Manning. It's not. I don't think that's KJ Bolden. That's not a 5-star wide receiver. 5-star DB, which a Miami fan was talking about the 5-star. He doesn't understand why KJ Bolden's a 5-star, but whatever. And we put it's really okay. Push this. Was the guy ever Owen? Yeah, he was right here. Right here. Like, I don't know if we can't. Damn, I wish we could circle that shit. But it's a wide receiver. Like, if you look, he was even level with the line with the referee. Can we go back a little bit? Somehow he throws the ball late and directly to, you know what? If this is who you rather have than the transfer portal quarterback, God bless. I think y'all are doing great. I think you guys are doing phenomenal.
Okay, I see.
Like, he's trying to throw. He was trying to throw. He should have thrown it when he was even with the referee, but instead he threw it. So where is that?
Right here.
5 yards late in the middle of the field, not even protecting this guy. I'm not going to talk about him too much, but actually, you know what? No, that's not my guy Denny Thompson's fault. He trains with Denny. Florida State Mike Norvell has played 5 true freshmen, at least 200 snaps in a single season since he's arrived in 2020. Linebacker Steven Dix, 467 snaps. Malik McClain, 426 snaps. Omarion Cooper, who is now with it's Colorado's problem, 267 snaps. Kevin Knowles, 568 snaps. AZ, 327 snaps. Dix, McClain, and Cooper have transferred away from FSU after playing significant snaps as true freshmen. Knowles and Thomas are each fighting for starting jobs in FSU secondary this year, with the Seminoles expected to feature 3 transfers as starter at cornerback positions. Despite having these players earn significant roles as true freshmen, FSU has not shown a willingness to stick with them through the developmental process, turning to the transfer portal to replace them. So,
I'm just gonna go.
Oh, sweet.
Donation.
See y'all boys.
The tailgate.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So instead of this, so again, the goal is not to win games, it's development. We want to make these great men. FSU's top-ranked signee from the 2023 recruiting class, Hakeem Williams, was a 5-star prospect, according to the industry. And during the summer months, the Seminoles added transfer receiver Keon Coleman from Michigan State. Williams was FSU's first composite 5-star signee since Cam Akers, Josh Kano, and Marvin Wilson in the 17 class. This is year 4 of Mike Norvell's tenure, and 16 of his projected 22 starters are as transfers. Talented true freshman will play under Mario Cristobal at Miami. That's the message UM hopes will land with David Stone and Zaquan Patterson in their lead up to their commitments. I've never been a part of a great, like, that's not what Miami used to say. You know what Miami used to say? Miami used to say, if you're good enough, you'll play. That's the Miami that I remember. Not this pacified pussy bullshit. Some pretty, Gabe Urethra, some pretty alarming stats there at the end. 2 different model approaches. Tip your cap to Norvell because they're getting it done on Saturdays. But feels like a tough model to sustain long term.
Is that the hot word?
That's the hot word. It used to be stupid when my boy Sam said it. But now it sounds even dumber. Like, it's an argument that doesn't make sense. You know why it doesn't make sense? Because right now we're about to bring in a whole bunch of fucking high school players. You use the portal until you don't have to use the portal, and you got depth. Here's what they're saying. Such losers. Fucking losers, man. If you don't like it when you come to Doak, square up. But y'all use words, and that's good. Use your words. I'd rather roll with talented 3 to 4 year guys from the jump and fill in holes as you need to, rather than go all in on the portal and use high school recruiting for depth purposes. Where was this shit when Manny Diaz was doing it? Where was this when Mario made his statement that, hey, if you don't like how we're going to come get your kids, we'll go bring guys in. You brought in 27 transfer portal guys. You brought in more. You're a liar. What is urethra? What kind of bank? Like, what kind of I know that's not Cuban.
Oh, jeez, I wouldn't have no idea.
What does he look like? Let me see something. Never mind. He just looks white. Never mind. I can't even be prejudiced with him. I don't know what he is. Such loser talk. To quote Hove, this is who you want to place your faith? UM took 16 transfers this year alone. Florida State took 12. The difference is FSU landed more highly rated, highly sought after transfers, many of which could start anywhere in the country. The idea UM prioritizes high school talent is a coping mechanism for whiffing. But that's what was said by my guy Ryan. Where were we at? You had Mike J21. Is that the one you were at? And here's some other word salad mumbo jumbo. My guy Marco put Miami class average the last 5 years ranked 16th. In the same span, the Canes placed 52nd and 58th when it comes to win conversion with said talent. Seems like the check engine light is glowing at Coral Gables. Norvell is slated to have a top 10 recruiting class, along with being top 10 in returning production. The narrative you're pushing doesn't make sense. And part of that comes from Canes chief. I love facts because they remove fan bias. Coach Norvell hasn't taken a recruit from high school who has developed to turn into an NFL drafted player. Now that's the thing, which is a lie. Which is a lie. He took a couple of his guys from Memphis. Definitely went to the NFL. They got drafted. FSU has 16 starters that were transfers. Recruits are constantly leaped for new transfer. He hasn't had one high school player drafted since his time in Memphis, and that player was drafted after he left, which he left that season. Like, he had only been there for 4 years. Like fuck, whatever, man. He hasn't ever developed a high school defensive player from start to finish either. And then in my mind comes in now, you got to also break down how, with transfers, UM got a 53% blue chip rating. So, what people don't know, blue chip ratio is something that my guy Bud Elliott, who is what Andrew Farrelly looks like, but like the evil Bud Elliott. That's what we'll call Andrew, evil Bud Elliott. No, that's Bud Crawford. Uh-huh. Bud Elliott's the FSU guy who looks like Doctor Strange. Okay. But anyways, 53 blue chip ratio is when you have your better talent to average talent. So you want to have a higher blue chip ratio than lower. So Miami has a 53% blue chip ratio. Which means, and he says FSU has a 41% blue chip ratio. And without the transfers, Miami has a 61% blue chip ratio to Florida State's 38% transfer ratio. So what he's saying is we have a better team, yet you whooped our ass. Like, do they understand? Like, this is where I need that Kevin Hart. Are you listening to what you're saying? I just don't understand all of this pacified pussy shit. But at the end of the day, I just want you to have some pride. It's all I'm asking. This rivalry means something. When I was a child, there was only 2 programs that I actually wanted to go to. That was the University of Miami and Florida State University. I actually almost went to the University of Miami. I have tremendous respect for guys like Leon Searcy. I got a chance to meet. I've got a chance to get to know. Damn, I can't think of my guy's name. Wide receiver. I have a bet for cigars with him. I met Ed Reed. Ed Reed's a great guy. Tried to make a bet with Ed Reed. You know what Ed Reed told me? Hell no. I seen that shit. I told him I'd give him the points. He said, hell no. Your legends won't bet on you. Because they understand that they had pride at one point. At one point, they woke up and they were like, man, I'm proud to be a K. Right now, if I read that, if I ever was an FSU, well, not former, I am a former FSU player, but if I ever looked at our fan base and I saw them doing the amount of mental linguistics and gymnastics that you guys are doing right now, I would tweet out that I'm ashamed to be a part of this fan base. Take your L like a man, get up, brush yourself off, and win a fucking game. Handle it on the field. The goal is and has always been to win football games. Not be a t-shirt Olympics, not be the person who gets the most little boys, not be the person who gets the best people in the transfer portal, and not to be hype beast. To quote some random rapper whose name I can't really think, I think it's Finesse 2 Times. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck them. I think I'm glad Mike Norvell is taking that strategy. Mike Norvell has built his team the way he needs to build it. You're going to get mad when we get Zaquan Patterson. You're going to get mad when we flip Zamella. You're going to get mad when we flip the D tackle from Bluntstown. You're going to get mad, just like Georgia fans are going to get mad when we go there. We take whatever the fuck we want to take off of Kirby's plate. Because that's what we're doing right now. When you get back to winning, then you come and talk to us. And as a fan base, I encourage all you guys, besides pushing the like button on this, and besides sharing this, and you can clip this, but as a fan base, I need us to stop engaging with idiots. A wise man said, don't argue with fools, because from a distance, they can't tell who is who. I encourage you to do what my man Big No does when the young boy who says he's from Tallahassee and Jacksonville and nobody knows who he is comes into his DMs. Comes into his comments. Call him a bone smuggler. Do something. Just say something he says, here you go with that bone smuggler shit. Now, he always says that.
I don't even know what that is.
Just think of
oh my goodness.
Just think.
I can't believe it.
We can't listen. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what if you smuggle bones, this is a safe space. I'm an ally. It's only one group of people I'm afraid of. It's those guys. I'm here. I identify. I want to learn how to say your things, whatever. But at the end of the day, we got LSU coming up. And I want Miami fans who listen to this, because I know sometimes you guys find this stuff a little bit later and you like to troll in the comments. I want to make sure you got to the end. Let us finish what's on our plate first. Let us whoop LSU's ass. Let us get our get back from Clemson, because I won't talk trash to Clemson. You know why I don't talk trash to Clemson? They whooped our ass for 8 years. They've done better than us and everything, but I'm not doing no mental gymnastics to try to justify why we've lost to Clemson. We just lost. But trust and believe. If you don't believe anything on this planet, you don't have to believe in Jesus. You don't have to believe that the world is round. You can be a flat earther, but believe this. In Tallahassee, Florida, when y'all have to come up here and we have that nice tailgate and all the fixings, I want y'all to come and I want y'all to enjoy yourselves. I want you to have a nice beverage. I want you to get fat because I want the lamb fat when we slaughter it. That's the bottom line. Fan base, take pride in what we've done. The standard is the standard, and the standard is over everything. When we weren't living up to the standard, we didn't need to excuse it. It is what it is. But now that we have the standard and we've reached the standard, there is no reason for us to not be proud of attaining the standard. That's how we got to keep it. All right, man. Appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. Again, y'all pray for y'all. If y'all pray for y'all friends in Miami, I'll see you guys on Friday. You ready, Mom?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's a completely different feel. I mean, our first one went there, and then I got lazy and then went over. But then when I read,
yeah, you put most of them in there. We got 2, 4, 6. So yeah, that's pretty good shooting though, right there.
You ready, Mom?